world I knew felt confined, like a book with only one chapter, and I was ready to turn the page. That desire for something more became apparent the first time I left the town for a school competition. It was a simple affair, a regional science fair. My parents were hesitant to let me go. It was the first time I'd traveled so far away from home, but they encouraged me to take the opportunity. I remember the day vividly. The bus ride out of town felt surreal, like I was crossing into another world, one that I had only seen in books and movies. When I arrived, the city seemed impossibly vast. The buildings towered over me, their windows like the eyes of giants, watching as I stepped into a place where nothing was familiar. I was just a small-town kid, and everything about the city felt intimidating. The noise was deafening, the people too fast and too distant. I felt lost, out of place. The contrast was jarring, the endless sky of my hometown replaced by concrete and steel, the open fields exchanged for crowded streets. Yet, as I stood there in that vast, bustling city, I also felt a spark of something else. A deep sense of awe. There was so much to see, to experience, to understand. For the first time in my life, I realized there was a bigger world beyond the horizon, and I could be a part of it if I dared to take that leap. It was exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. The competition itself was forgettable, but that day marked the beginning of my desire to break free from the constraints of the town that had shaped me. When I returned home, the town felt smaller somehow. The faces were still the same, the routines were unchanged, but I had seen a glimpse of something more. It was as though I had unlocked a door, and once you see what's on the other side, it's impossible to forget. That tension, between loyalty to my roots and the yearning for something greater, began to simmer beneath the surface. At home, I tried to blend in, tried to honor the life my parents had worked so hard to provide. But inside, the desire to escape and make a name for myself continued to grow. It wasn't just about leaving for the sake of leaving, it was about finding my place in a world that felt far larger than the small corner I had always known. By the time I reached high school, the urge to break free was undeniable. I began to wonder, could I ever really be content in a place so small when the world outside felt so expansive? It was a question I couldn't shake, and it would haunt me for years to come. When I moved to the city after high school, I had a mixture of excitement and fear bubbling inside me.